you could imagine what we were doing was way outside the box. Well, I basically dealt with a lot of rock bands because I was a chauffeur, as a doorman, I was a bellhop. I've seen them all, been around them all when I worked for Stouffer's Hotel.
How long did you work there?
About 10 years. Yep, I had 10 years of my life, and that's what I had put my goal on. If after 10 years nothing's going in the right direction, I quit. I'm out of there. Iowa, country and rock. You know, they say they like blues and jazz. Nah, it's country or rock. That's it. I got to meet these promoters. There were two of them, Al Jenkins, another guy, I can't remember his name. They were partners. They started Jam Productions. ZZ Top, Kiss. I mean, you name it, they had them. Andre the Giant, Cuckoo Beware, Hulk Hogan.
When I get a hold of you in Cedar Rapids, dude, I'm gonna rip you limb from limb, brother.
It was hilarious just to hear conversations, listening to conversations and picking these people up. And you get to meet them and you go, this is what everybody's all crazy about? These guys? You know, they're just normal people, and that's the way they want to be treated. John Denver, here's another one. He exercises in the nude. I'm bringing his luggage in. Here's a guy doing push-ups, buck naked, on the floor. Never mind. Robin Williams, which was, oh man, what a concert. Just meeting him in person. The Doobie Brothers. After they did their show, I'm taking them out to the airport, and they flew on their jet. I was just taking their luggage out and saying, hey man, come on up. You know? I'm just like, cool. Me and her together made things happen. And that's no lie, you know. And after that part, you know, 10 years of Stouffer's, I got the hell out of there, started working for some other people and things like that, and that's how that went. So I mean, I learned from Jam Production, those two guys that I told you about with Jam Productions. I learned how to do it.
Do you remember your first introduction to reggae?
Yeah, it was 1994 when we went to Snowmass, Colorado. Just the whole atmosphere was incredible. One thing about reggae, that's where the bug hit me, was when we were in Snowmass, Colorado. The bug hit me hard. I mean, I couldn't shake it.
She got the black hard man children. I said don't run here. She got the black hard man children.
That experience in Colorado just put something in my mind and put something in her mind and said, well, why can't we bring these bands, not all of them, just a band, to Iowa? Think about it, Iowa. You know, we just thought about it. And, Susie put her fillers out and got a hold of a guy, George Michaelo. She got a hold of him. He started talking to her, and it'd be our first, not our first, but it'd be our second concert. The first concert, I mean, the lineup was cool and all that other stuff, but it got out of hand, and I don't even want to mention it. So I'll just start with bringing Burning Spear to Van Vechten Park in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Talked to Sonia, Burning Spear's wife, and paid a lot of money for it, but he was worth it. People knew there was something going on in Cedar Rapids. I had people come, hey man, what can I do? Well, number one, you can sell tickets and you can put up posters. I used to get on my bike, stapling up flyers, and then not only that, I got it on the side of my van. So everybody knew what was going on in that town. A friend that we knew, his son went up and asked him for his autograph while the music's going on. And Burning Spear signed it and gave it to him. I mean, what a profession. Everybody was leaving. So there's a guy walking towards me, bald-headed guy. He says, man, thanks for this show, man. I was going to commit suicide. And I'm going, seriously? I'm thinking that in my head. I didn't say that to him. So I gave him a big hug. I said, I'm glad you did, man. You know, I'm glad you did, and I'm glad I could bring this here. But he came over me and thanked me for that. So that's well worth the money that I spent on Burning Spear, saving a person's life. We started, through George, we started getting Joseph Hill and Culture. We had them maybe 9 times. We had them like twice in a month. Hey, they're coming back through. Hey, Greg, you want to get them? You know, real cheap. I'm getting these guys real cheap. But Joseph Hill, he didn't care. He gave the people what they wanted. I mean, I think that bar held maybe 250 people. I could be off. So we had about 350 in there. Over capacity. I was trying to talk them into doing a second show. I mean, sweat coming off the ceiling. Joseph killed it. That's when cigarette smoke was allowed in the bars and, you know, and stuff. He said to the audience, put your cigarettes out. You know, they put them out. And the bar owner had never witnessed anything like that. Because there's so much smoke up in there. And we cleared it all out, and he gave one of the best shows ever. One thing about Joseph, it didn't matter how bad of a situation he was in, that band hit every time. Non-stop, moving, just like Burning Spear, that movement of the music. He going to one song, into the next song, into the next song, to the next song. And people would come out of there baptized. What a friend indeed. He was a friend. His son, Kenyatta, we knew him when he was growing up and seeing where he was going. Joseph had this leather suit that he wore, you know. It's a long leather jacket, leather pants. He got that in, what was the name of that?
Tanger or Tanger?
Yeah, Sapimo, it's called Tanger. Just outside of Cedar Rapids. So we drove out there. Joseph had it. He bought him a nice suit. His performance that night was in that suit. And you see him in, I think, Africa and a few other places. If you see that black leather long coat, that's where he got that stuff from. Had nothing but great times with this man. I did Joseph in Cedar Rapids at Big Dogs. The guy at Big Dogs backstabbed me and told him, no, don't set anything. So we're in the bus, we're pulling up to this bar where this guy says, yeah, you can do your show here. I basically gave them, you know, a steal. But word gets out with these cliques, don't go, don't go, don't go. I worked for Grantwood Elementary School. I was doing a concert in the park. And they told people not to go. Oh, because of marijuana and all this other stuff. And it's like, no. They didn't respect reggae. They didn't respect anything. That, especially coming from a person, what you call quote unquote a color. I don't look at myself like that. I look at myself as a man. I don't sit there and go, I got a tan, a great tan, so I'm different than this person. Never in my life did I look at that or even think about that. I was just thinking, I want to do this show along with her, because if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't have done these shows. I wouldn't have done them, you know. And I had invested in reggae music that I worked my ass off and saved up, or it was my income tax, and I took that along with having 7 kids. So I'm putting the show on, and then you get some people that didn't understand, and I would have to mainly backhand them, tell them to get the hell away from here. Call this person, call that person. We have the right to be here. And they call them, and then they look like ass and come back and apologize to me. It's like, no need. I understand how things run around here, especially in Iowa City and Cedar Rapids. These guys have cliques. And if things don't go the way they want to, if they don't get the bands that they want to get in, and I'm not a part of that clique, or I'm not paying in, or I'm not using the radio station or the newspaper, they want to crush you. And that includes in the black community too. They didn't support me at all. Not at all. But it didn't matter. This is for my family. Had nothing to do with them. Lucky Dubé, great person, great show. I did him at Big Dogs too in Cedar Rapids. Too bad that I think this is one of the last that he did before he was killed. Okay, this was at the Q Bar, Iowa City. Black Uhuru, this was at Gunners, big time. It was packed. Justin Hines and the Dominoes. Justin did him twice. Okay. We had the Abyssinians at the Green Room. They killed it. Came out in their robes, red, gold, and green. Oh man, that was one of the best concerts ever. One cool thing about doing shows, always, as far as cost and all that other stuff, always had backline if they needed it. Always went by what the writer asked for, and if they didn't get it, I'd go to them and talk to them. And Joseph Hill was one of those guys, we'll make it work. If they don't have this, they don't have everything on the right, we'll make it work. And he always did. I mean, just a true gentleman, you know. A lot of them. True gentlemen. As far as other people that were connected up with him, I really didn't like them. They were hustlers, you know. Wanting this and wanting that, I tell them, no, you're not getting it.
Thank you all to have the meditation here tonight. Yes. Being a wonderful concert here, you know.
And the meditations, I mean, Ansel Cridlin just was, to me, he's a brother. Ansel's the man. City High. Iowa City, City High. Here's another one. I witnessed a lot of people get shook by that school and get destroyed because they used them. I knew exactly what was going on in that school, how they were cheating. I took care of the gymnasium. I took care of the locker room. I took care of all that stuff. So I witnessed some crazy stuff during games and things like that. You know, City High is, you know, I got to give them props. Them guys, you come into their gymnasium and you see them trophies, you're intimidated. Because there's a lot of great guys that came out of there and became, you know, as far as wrestling, as far as football, as far as track, I give them props for that. But there's something that's really sinister about that school. I was going to do the meditations, and they had this little, I think it was like some little black coalition, because they were doing concerts that were shitty at the school, but they would pack it. So there were two guys I connected up with and talked to, and they had their little thing, and I said, well, I got this band called the Meditations, you know, I gave them literature on them and stuff like that, and I said, I can bring them here to school and we could do a show, okay? And then we were promised, okay, you can have them in the gym, all right? I had all the equipment that I had to set up for this band, and so I had everything. I told one of the guys that, you know, work with, I said, I want to set this up tonight, okay? Well, I don't know if you should or not. And I said, why not? I mean, we'll put it over here in the corner and, you know, set everything up, and it's going to make it easier for me than to try to put it together at the last minute and there'll be no show. So maybe that was my mistake.
After when we went there for sound check, the principal came up and said, what about this thing about reggae music in Africa? He said, well, if you're here, if you come, you will hear the message of the music. It's nothing harmful and anything.
I go to the gym to see how things are, you know, how I had everything covered up. They're in there fucking playing basketball. These guys in here, you had 2 gymnasiums. This was a small gymnasium. You couldn't put everybody in one gymnasium, okay? Or put a curtain up to stop all this. No, you're shooting basketballs around expensive equipment. The vice principal comes over to me and says, you just got a half hour. Got a cop over there standing, posing. And I said, what do you mean a half hour? I said, we have this gym for tonight. Okay? Oh, no you don't. You got a half hour.
And I was surprised when I leave and go back to the hotel and forward now to come on stage. I see a lot of police shouting 7 News out there. I said, what's going on? Saw some brethren coming down the road and said they canceled the show.
So I started breaking everything down and getting my shit out of there. I had to make like 5 trips home, taking my shit out of that school. These 2 guys that were supposed to help sponsor, what they did is they emailed all the parents and told them don't come. It was a plot.
The principal called up all the people around in the neighborhood and said, don't send your children, there's some Rasta man look funny, preach, hate.
They had attitude. I mean, people want to talk about redneck, Klan, racist, Nazis or whatever. Well, they fit that role. You guys gave me the gym. We went through all these, you know, avenues. We had the gym. That was our gym for that day. Well, how much did you lose? I said, I lost a lot of money. Okay. Well, what, are you going to reimburse me?
He pays. Even though it went that way, he pays. You know, and I promise, I said, anytime you're ready, I will do a free show for you. Anytime, just call on me.
You didn't have to do this. Because once you sign a contract, you're bound to pay the person, you know, and that's how I viewed everything. If it happens, it happens. If it didn't, it didn't. So I just got to eat that. But he said to me, he says, man, when we come back through, we'll do a concert for you. steadfast with what we believed in, and it was the reggae music. We invested a lot, but I'm truly blessed. You know, that stuff ain't gonna come back. That ain't coming back through no more. It ain't gonna happen ever again. And that was the time for it to happen.